So I have a question. What about the road? What about Old Hickory
Ma'am.
Tree Road?
Up here.
Oh, okay.
Speak
What
to
about
us
Old
and-
Hickory Tree Road? Are they going to do something with the traffic? It's already getting bombarded with the school and the light and everything. And then also, are they going to put sidewalks in down there?
You have any other questions?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Dix, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, sir.
The sidewalks?
Well, first of all, yes, we're going to put sidewalks in, of course, obviously within the infrastructure and on the outside of the property. But more importantly, in reference to the road issues, I mean, those are things we're going to work directly with staff during the developer agreement process. And I personally have seen the traffic there, especially on drop-off and pickups. And so, you know, for instance, I know our off-site improvements will have turning lanes and so forth, so that'll alleviate some of that as well. But that's something during the developer agreements process that if we can create any efficiencies, we will certainly do that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Would anyone else like to speak to this item? If not, we'll have discussion and/or motion by council at this time. Mr. Manzares.
I just want to point some out quickly. So this agreement, this item includes the approval of the CDD, but it also includes the approval of a petitioner's agreement, which Mr. Brown mentioned to you. So in front of you, you'll see some slip pages that were put in place, put in front of you to look at. Those are changes to the petitioner's agreement that were made since the last time this came in front of the city council before tonight. Those changes they were described in Mr. Brown's presentation as well as Melissa's presentation. Those are the ones that address the contribution of the developer towards the fire truck, as well as the transportation improvements and the utility improvements that were being talked about, and the need for a future developers agreement to address those. That's what those changes do, and they solidify the fire site and the fire truck contribution that they talked about.
Thank you, Mr. Manzares. Do you have any discussion from the council? Councilmember Trace.
And these weren't strike-through or underlined, so is this the highlighted sections are just completely being added?
Yes, sir.
They weren't in there before? Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. So, question kind of sort of unrelated to this. The way for us to alleviate the traffic on Old Hickory Tree Road is to have a alternate route. And we've got Orange that will be a very nice 4-lane road with dead end on both sides, not connected to anything. Is there any way we can put a plan together to make sure that the connections happen over the next couple years before this thing gets built out? I don't think it's an off-site improvement, so I don't think it's obligation for the developer to do, but as the city start making some of these roadway connections, we've got plenty of mobility funds. Let's make it happen. And then on the amenity side of things, so it wasn't in there before, but it's in this new, I don't know, we didn't get the whole title of it, but the recreational amenities, they are going above and beyond current code with landscape, hardscape amenities, all that. I did see it in this new handout that was just handed out, and I just wanted to make sure that was kind of on the record, but that's all my comments for now.
Thank you. So that was my concern when we got the agenda packet, and I haven't read these papers that were on our desk here completely, but I still felt like it was super vague in the package. Like, it still just says, yeah, we're going to do it, and it's going to be better than what we have to do, but there wasn't any kind of like, is it going to be, are you going to spend $1 million more than what you have to do? Or are you going to spend, you know what I mean? Like, there just wasn't detail enough for me to go, what exactly are you doing? Everything was just like, we'll design this in a future phase. We're going to give you an amenity. It's going to be better than what you had to get by code, but there's really no details, which we've been saying every single time this has come before us, that there wasn't any details. So that's frustrating to me. It was just mentioned in the summary that, it was gonna, I think the term he used was preserve a 2.5 acre site for a future fire station, but we're giving them impact fee credits for that. So, they're not donating that. We're gonna buy it with impact fee credits. And the other thing I was curious, it sounds good when you have the slide that says $34 million worth of infrastructure, but what's the number that exceeds what you would have had to done for the development? Because a lot of those items in there, the water and sewer, the road, that's the cost of development. So out of the $34 million, what are we getting above and beyond, like, what the cost of the development is? I mean, I want to help you out here, and I want to, you know, have a really high-quality development, and I've been pretty consistent every time it's come. Like, I need details, and I still don't feel like there's details. Now, if I missed it in the application, somebody correct me, I just felt like it was a lot of vague, better than what the requirements are. So I appreciate the fact that as future applications and products come into the city will do its level best to try to get it, but we're already pregnant at that point, so our leverage is gone.
Well, I certainly think you have done what the law says to get your CDD approved, but you're obviously going to be held your feet to the fire with coming through on what, you know, the amenities are. I'd like to make a motion that we approve this item and move forward. Do I have a second?
Second?
We have a second from Councilmember Trace, a motion from the mayor. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Urban.
Aye.
Councilmember Askew.
Aye.
Councilmember Trace.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Matheny.
No.
Mayor Blackwell.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1.